This morning, Notre Dame head football coach Brian Kelly announced that senior wide receiver Michael Floyd has been fully reinstated to the Notre Dame football team. I talked with Coach Kelly about the tasks Floyd had to complete to earn that reinstatement. Can you talk about the long lists of things that Michael had to do to earn his reinstatement?
Well, I'm not going to get the specifics, but I can tell you that there are a number of things that all players in this program are going to have to do to earn their trust and to earn their way back onto this football team. So I don't know that we would just characterize it as things that Michael had to do, but I think any player on our program who's made bad decisions in the past, and this one a particular bad decision, there are a number of things that they have to go through. And I think we went through that process, and that's why we're arriving at the point that we are right now.
What convinced you that Michael could really change after this incident, when some might argue he did not change following previous incidents?
Well, I think there's always that one time in someone's life that they have to really look at themselves closely. And in this particular instance, that one poor decision that he made forced him to reevaluate where he was going with his life. That, coupled with my personal observations, as well as a number of people who have had close contact with him over the last 4.5 months, have led me to believe, based upon all the information I have, that this one event was a defining moment for him in his life.
You've been in this business a long time. You know the skeptics are going to say, of course Michael Floyd got reinstated. He's too good not to reinstate. How do you respond to the skeptics? You know,
I really can't. I mean, those that are cynics or skeptics about relationships with 18 to 21-year-olds and don't know the work that we do with these young men on a day-to-day basis, I can't explain to them the number of hours that we put in with these young men. So they're going to be out there, and they can have those opinions, but I think we take this very serious because we're talking about somebody that we want to make sure gets his degree and is a very productive member of our society.
You have been very clear throughout the spring and the summer that this would be an all-in or an all-out situation for Michael. Explain why you chose not to suspend Michael for an arbitrary number of games.
Well, in my experience, and I'll go 22 years now of doing this, you know, slapping somebody on the wrist is not the greatest deterrent in my experience. There is no number to define how many guys got suspended and then did the same thing over again. This was a decision that Michael had to make to change his life. Not one game of suspension here or there was going to do it. This was about him making a decision. And once he decided to change the way he handled himself and learn from his mistake, I think we made the right decision as it related to Michael Floyd.
You have always demanded a lot from your players on and off the field. What kind of a teaching moment has Michael's situation been for the team as a whole?
Well, I think it's consistency in our approach, that all players are held accountable for their actions, regardless of what their status is on the football team. Many people look at it as a double standard, that Michael is got an opportunity to get reinstated. That would be the case for everybody on our football team, whether people believe that or not. Again, I can't change the way people feel, but again, it's consistency in approach that our players see that you're accountable for your actions.
Have you enacted any new policies or programs for the rest of your team to educate them on what is expected from them as a Notre Dame football player?
No, nothing new, but the same message and those same expectations that we had coming in to Notre Dame a year and a half ago are the same ones that are still in place. They're not different, and we still espouse the same values within our program in terms of making good decisions. So I think what the most important thing is that we don't change the way that we handle discipline within our program, but that we're consistent in our approach across the board.
Now, you told the media that when you first got to Notre Dame, you thought Michael Floyd was overrated, but he won you over, not just with his play on the field, but with his work ethic in practice. Clearly, he won your respect. Does he again have that level of respect heading into the fall, or does he have to earn your respect again?
Well, I think Michael Floyd has always been on the field the A student. I don't think that there's ever been a time that any player on our football team would question his dedication to the game of football. What we question is whether he was making the right decisions off the field. So this is clearly about Michael making good decisions off the field, and I think our players observed the things that he's done. He's gotten a chance to integrate back with our team over the summer, and I think he's working towards building that respect back with his teammates.
Back in January at the 2010 Notre Dame Football Award Show, it was announced that Michael had been elected a captain of this team. He was stripped of that captaincy back in March. Can he be a captain again?
He can't have that captaincy back. We're not going to go revisit something that occurred back in March when he lost that captaincy. But as you know, we have game day captains. Those game day captains have to obviously do things during the week of practice to earn that title, and he'll have that opportunity to be a game day captain just like anybody else on our football team will have that opportunity, but he'll have to earn that on a week-to-week basis.
And finally on this topic, what are your expectations for Michael Floyd moving forward?
I just think the sky's the limit for Michael Floyd. I think, as we've talked about, you know, making good decisions off the field, the lessons learned, you know, having all of those things flash before him in terms of putting in jeopardy his ability to get a degree from Notre Dame and to continue to play football here. I just think there's exciting things ahead of Michael Floyd, and I'm very confident that he'll continue to move in the direction that he's chosen to move in.
Coach Kelly and Michael Floyd will meet with the media this afternoon at 3 p.m. You can watch all of that media session live right here on UND.com. I'm Jack Nolan, UND.com.